Welcome to 94.9 32 FM, and this is Scoreboard Reloaded. I am Peter Omo. Okay, so let's see if we can make some slight adjustments to some of. Okay, so that's done now. Welcome one more time. It's 94.9 32 FM Scoreboard Reloaded. I am Peter Omo. On the show this afternoon, we'll be taking a look at all that is happening right about now as we speak in the world of sports, from football to some athletics to some tennis going on before the last Grand Slam of the year. And when I say football, yes, it all began in the last couple of days, and the action will get better and bigger in the days ahead. The Premier League, the La Liga will be back in a few days from now, and the Chan also going up with the Chan Eagles having a game coming up on Tuesday against Sudan, because the boys lost their opening game to defending champion Senegal last week Tuesday. The last few hours, the head coach of the home base Eagles, 𝐒𝐿, has been speaking to the media, telling them that the boys know that game on Tuesday is a must win for them. If you don't get a win, start packing your things and leave after your last game against DR Congo. All right, joining me on the show is SAMIES and Dolak, but we'll take a look at all of these and many more when we'll have time on the show. The transfer news also is buzzing, and we're going to start with that because in the last few hours, it looks like there's some kind of movement. Some are crossing from Manchester to Liverpool. It was about £100 million they paid for him. Maybe it worked out or it did not. These guys will share their thoughts. And of course, the curtain raiser for the Premier League also went down on Sunday in London. It was Crystal Palace who's beginning to say to anyone who cares to listen that, hey, Wembley is now their home ground. But on the flip side, it was not the best of news in the last few hours concerning their CAS case. They lost, and so it's now been confirmed that what UEFA said has been confirmed by CAS. When you say CAS, what is CAS? Court for Arbitration for Sport. They've said for the Eagles, not Super Eagles, now for Crystal Palace, you will play the Conference League. That to me didn't glad in my heart, but it is what it is when you have this issue concerning double ownership of club side. Sam, it's a pleasure having you joining me on the show. Let's start with that and, of course, move on to some other headlines. How did that come to you? You know, usually I have this belief that when you drag your case to CAS, if you have 5 cases in CAS, 3 most times are overturned and, they go the other way. But this one wasn't just the best. When Palace thought that, When Palace thought that they were having a best of time, beating Manchester City in the final of the FA Cup, beat Liverpool in the Community Shield, and that the big one, they could not get a win in the court. You're not going to have a say in this one. So that means you have your say.
Well, good afternoon, Peter.
So I need you to be focused because you know there's some things happening around the studio that can be very...
So good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon to everyone who has joined us on the show today. First off, I would say I was surprised with the verdict by the Court of Arbitration for Sports as regards Crystal Palace, whom they've worked so hard to qualify for UEFA competitions, but at the end of the day, and they will still be playing in UEFA competitions, but not at the second division, in which automatically they end the right in which to play. But I tell you that it is not the best of news as regards the giant slayers. That's what I call Crystal Palace, because in a way or two, they have their way of breaking the big guns when we talk about English football. And they've done that successively. Their second trophy, that was in their cabinet yesterday, defeating Liverpool 3-2 on penalty shootout. I know for some people they would say Community Shield is not a trophy, but for a club like Crystal Palace, you would also count that as a trophy because it is their second domestic trophy.
But if the big guys won, it is not a trophy.
Not the big guys now, especially Arsenal. They would say it's not a trophy. But now we move on from that. For Crystal Palace, it's a different thing getting demoted to play in the UEFA Europa.
Hold on, I've had this so many times.
That's
among colleagues, friends, but not in this studio.
Yeah.
So what's the definition of a trophy?
You play final. You play final and there's something at stake, right? There is a silverware at stake.
What they won yesterday was no silverware.
What was it? Goldware. What was it?
Okay, they say it's a community shield, not a community trophy.
Shield.
Was a shield, right?
Peter.
Well, I feel like
trophy not trophy.
Depending on the team that wins it, actually.
Depending on wins it.
Yes, depending on the
See,
team.
Is that how the
Peter,
level works?
that's what people do now. You remember that in other leagues we have
Do you
it.
want to share your opinion?
In other league, in other leagues, we have winners of the league and also winners of their domestic cup.
Yeah.
Playoff, they do that as the curtain raiser going into their season. In Spain, we have the Super Cup,
Yeah.
right? In Germany, we have the DFB Pokal Cup. In Italy, I think we have the.
Let's bring. Good enough. You mentioned something. I was going to hold the both of you accountable. In Spain and in Italy, they don't have the Community Shield.
Yeah.
But it
You
is
know
what?
that they take 4 teams to Saudi Arabia to contest.
Yes.
Okay.
So put that in because it's the same also as the Community Shield in England and also have in Germany and also have in France. So when the English and you guys come up with this narrative, it gets me annoyed.
It is something I think these days it is an agenda. That is how we put it now.
Maybe that's the word. Maybe that's the word.
I feel like for some teams before, maybe some years before the Jose Mourinho era, they see this as a trophy because when you look at Sir Alex Ferguson,
Chelsea, when they came on board, they took the EFL to another level.
Yes. Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho did that during the Sir Alex Ferguson's era.
Tottenham
I
won
used to say it.
Yeah, in 2008,
20,
under Juan
yeah.
Ramos.
I used to say it very well. Under Sir Alex Ferguson's era, Community Shield is a trophy. It is for me. It is a trophy when you look at the way everybody is. Because when you want to tell me there will be the final of the the UEFA
On
Super
Wednesday.
Cup on Wednesday,
Yeah.
it is just like the Community Shield. It is just like every other trophy.
Okay.
But then when it comes to England, there is an agenda against some particular teams, especially Arsenal. Most because they don't win trophies. They don't win trophies every time. So when they win the Community Shield, they tell you it is not a trophy. It is just a plate. That is what they tell you. They say it's a shield. They don't take it as a trophy. So for teams like Crystal Palace, they can.
It
take
is just
it
the
very
same way to if Chelsea win it, Arsenal will say to them, it is no trophy, it's just a shield.
Well, I don't know. Yes,
That's where it's agenda.
That is
That's where
that
it's
is an
agenda.
The agenda is agenda.
Yes.
So it is just an agenda.
The
But for
agenda is
me,
agenda.
But for the agenda,
it is an agenda. For me, Community Shield is a trophy.
for the agenda is not going to work in that's against the Crystal Palace. And one thing also was just I was on the agenda yesterday, and I think a lot of football fans, I mean Manchester United, Chelsea, maybe Arsenal, were happy with Liverpool not starting the season with a silverware. Also,
That's an agenda.
That's an agenda. You also put because I saw a lot of takes that 𝐃𝐈𝐒 was successful yesterday, and I wondered like, okay, are you people waiting on Liverpool that much? But going back to the Crystal Palace issue now, it's another thing to get demoted into the Europa Conference League, and now it just gets worse. They have to play qualifiers to even get into the group stage of the Europa Conference League, when automatically they earn the right to play in the UEFA Europa League, where the big boys are, without a need for
Nottingham Forest
will play in the UEFA Europa League and get into the group stage of the UEFA Europa League. So all of this
they say in this part of the world, one man food.
Another man poison.
I
And
feel
when
like
one person will know,
When not scatter. Just say it the way it is.
another person will not go align.
If you're not spoil, another person go better.
well,
simple.
for me, I feel like Crystal Palace, maybe if they get into the Conference League, this might just be a blessing in disguise for them under Oliver Glasner. I've seen what he could do when he was at
But
Frankfurt.
when you say blessing in disguise,
yes.
after the game yesterday, one of the British reporters put to him that, and he also alluded to it, what he had at the moment is, in fact, Steve Parish, the chairman of Parish, also said it in the mixed zone. Said they only have 16 senior squad players.
Yes, that is.
And they are not sure yet about
𝐿
and
𝐿
And when you look at the type of team they'll be playing against, it's looking like it is Midtjylland of Denmark. A very good team. When you look at
the Champions League.
Yes, they are very good in Denmark. When you follow their league, they are one team that is performing well. They don't have the team. They don't really have what they used to have, and they still need to make some signings. And some players are not yet sure if they would be in that team next season. That might just be where it comes bad for them. But for me, I feel like UEFA should be doing better. Fine, they sold the club late. The American man sold the club very late. But I feel like he have sold the club, they have sold the rights and everything. They should have just allowed them play. But then CAS have also come out to say UEFA is right, and now they have to face their cause themselves. It is just what it is for them. They should have acted fast, you know. But I feel like they didn't see this coming. If you ask Steve Parish at the start of the competition, nobody would come out and tell you Crystal Palace could win the FA Cup. They didn't see it. Unlike what the Gironas, the Nice of this world did last season and 2 seasons ago when they participated in the same competition with Manchester United and Manchester City. They didn't see it coming and they acted so late. So that's why they have lost this case. But for me, this is going to be a very hard qualifiers for them against Midtjylland. But if they could scale through, they have a big chance of winning the Conference League, unlike the UEFA Europa League.
If we say qualifying for the Europa Conference League, they get past Midtjylland or Fredrikstad, it's also going to boil down to a player's mentality now. When I say player's mentality, you know, these guys that they've played at the high level and their spirits is playing in the UEFA Europa League, and now they get demoted. And then do you think that there will be clubs eyeing them elsewhere, just like Maguire now is Liverpool is on his radar, 𝐒𝐻𝐿, Arsenal is on his radar. So you look at the level of competition these two sides also will be playing in the course of the season. Won't that be also a determinant factor in their decision making going forward? Also, I saw Lacroix, I saw Munoz, I saw all of these guys yesterday, and I saw their performance, and I said this is definitely a good one. Even Dean Henderson, whom in my old books now, I think he should displace Pickford as England's number one when we talk about the national team. Yes, I'm saying it with my full chest. Yes.
You don't need to hit your chest.
Dean Henderson,
I've
seen enough.
Anyway, it might not be for me displace Pickford, who I've said so many times, one of the things the English don't have is they don't have a top English goalkeeper. Arsenal don't have an English goalkeeper. United don't have an English goalkeeper. City don't have one, even though they have Trafford now, maybe at the point in time. Liverpool don't have one. Spurs don't have one.
Peter,
so when
I tell you that
Chelsea don't have one also.
All the English goalkeepers, all the English goalkeepers that we have now, look at them. At one point or the other, they were with the big boys.
They were never.
Pickford
was never with the big boys.
Was with
Manchester United.
Which?
Dean Henderson.
No. Pickford was with Sunderland.
It was with Sunderland.
They went
no,
down.
I'm not about Pickford. Pickford.
He's the number one, so you must use him as the number one yardstick.
Well,
Henderson was never number one.
Yes, he was never number one, but
Alan Ramsdale keep for Arsenal. He was not able to displace him. Ramsdale was at Arsenal. He was very good at Arsenal.
He won the Golden Gloves, I guess. Yes.
He was not able to displace him.
I'm just trying to support what Samis said. So if we're putting in context that Henderson, I also feel like with the performance so far, should push that agenda of him maybe being number one. I know it's going to be tough. Pickford Pickford and Everton reminds me of Heartland in Nigerian PFL. Heartland end up going down. When I thought Everton would go down, there's a way Pickford stays. And to think that none of the big sides in England have been able to come for him. Just like when Arsenal came for Ramsdale, when we were with Sheffield, and they went down and they put money on him to join. And then it has to be Pickford. And no club in the Premier League top 6 is even looking. So let's talk about the game yesterday. Samis mentioned what the performance by the Eagles yesterday, and Liverpool will say that defensive line put together by Oliver Glasner, who have won quite a number of majors. He's won the UEFA Cup with Frankfurt, won the German Cup with Frankfurt. Yes. He has come to England. He has conquered again in the English.
Conquered the League Cup.
That's what I'm saying. In the Cup game. Yes. Okay. So I'm just saying here that performance.
But that's been impressive. You can't say he's not doing well for a Crystal Palace
with a low budget.
Very good. With a low budget. And the type of players he has been using. I was looking at Daniel Munez and I was asking myself,
he's 29.
Yeah, this guy is one of the best
players. A rejuvenated Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Yes. Adam Watson has been very good under him. I've seen he brought in Commander, who has not been really good, but Adam Watson has been good.
No. Commander was with him at Frankfurt. They won the FA Cup, did well, went to Lazio. He didn't work out well in Rome, and then he came back. Glasner said, it's a guy is working.
But can we also say that yesterday when I was watching the game, I just felt like if Daichi Commander had completed 90 minutes, maybe Crystal Palace would have won the game or the shootout yesterday.
It wasn't bad.
Not like it was bad
in the FA against.
But then I saw the shift in which Will Hughes put in that game. Will Hughes was everywhere.
Yes.
He was everywhere. Dominated the midfield.
But what do you say about the new guys who make their debut
for Liverpool?
On the big stage for Liverpool?
Yes.
In 4 minutes, This
For
87 million
Frimpong,
man.
see, they had their good moments and also their bad moments yesterday. For
talking about the bad moment, I was going to that before you jumped on some of the things I was going to mention. What's his name now?
𝐒𝐿𝐒𝐿
No, not to go.
Frimpong?
The head coach of Liverpool.
Slots.
Yeah, he said they've been leaking goals, cause for worries. And I saw somebody said, what's his name? I keep forgetting. Van Dijk can be that trouble spot for Liverpool going forward.
Yes.
So let's pick on some of those things that didn't work for Liverpool and those things that worked for them. Let's start with the guys who make the debut. Good one for
𝐾𝐻
and Frimpong.
and two guys who,
as well.
yes, 3 players.
He made the assists.
And he had those holes that he was
150 million pounds, and then the performance you saw from him yesterday.
And then one game is enough for you to criticize.
Oh, lots of players have been criticized with one game, Peter. Nicholas Pepe, 75 million pounds. Harry Maguire, how much? He has been criticized. Jadon Sancho.
Okay, we're going to get to Jack Grealish. Grealish should get 100 million. We'll mention him. But quickly, let's do this in a minute so that we can jump to the other things. So, SAMIES, what worked, what didn't work?
Well, for me, I'll just quickly point out what didn't work for Liverpool yesterday. It's actually their defense line, which I saw their 2 and 3. That's 𝐾𝐻 and Frimpong play on the eye line. They were not really solid defensively.
So you blame Frimpong for
𝐿𝐴𝐿
equalizer?
No. Oh, you look at that. He was actually part of the back line that kept 𝐿𝐴𝐿 onside.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm saying that you put the blame on him.
So you look at that defense line. Van Dijk, yes, it was shaky yesterday. Gave away a penalty. Konate, indiscipline wanted to take the better of him from that encounter as well. And when your two most experienced centre backs are having a bad day at office, then you have your 2 and 3 who are not really given that good defensive cover. It's not the best for the likes of the attackers that they have against them, Eberechi Eze and 𝐿𝐴𝐿. We know that they are tricky. And then you talk about the midfield. Maybe the midfield really didn't work also for Liverpool yesterday. We saw Dominic Szoboszlai.
Gave birth to
the
dad. Was that the
and also, that will also pinpoint to what I said last season, that Ryan Gravenberch was at the heart of everything good Liverpool did last season. And Mohamed Salah also. Man.
You know,
why was this contract extension forced upon his neck?
Well, just one game is not enough for me to get into that discussion.
One game as bad as that. Peter,
one
game as bad as that. Mohamed Salah missing a spot kick.
Hold up. It's not the first time Pele missed.
Peter, that is way much for a Mohamed Salah since last season.
I'll give you names.
Remember the last time Mo Salah had a good run was before the turn of the year. 2024.
That was before the game up against PSG.
Before the turn of the year.
He has not been Mo Salah
before the turn of the year.
Okay. So, because we're talking about one man who held thin so many times for what's the name?
Palace?
For Liverpool, Gravenberch, and you say he was the missing link yesterday. This discussion is just taking me to where I don't want to go. Not part of what I intend to say. So the news about Roger also came to the fore about him missing out games till September. We'll come to that. But quickly speak to me about the game yesterday in 30 seconds, so because I can deal with some other things.
Well, for me, I feel Liverpool still needs to do a whole lot, especially defensively. Jeremy Frimpong is not looking like the man for me because he's good attackingly, but I feel like
who played under Xabi Alonso played in the back three.
He played with the back three,
not like a full back.
He played wing back.
Now we'll be playing as a wing. We'll be playing as a full back. And now I'm looking at the Premier League, and I know the coaches in the Premier League, when they want to exploit ways to beat Liverpool, that is the best way to use. That is the best place to use. Because I was looking at that side yesterday, and I was thinking, if you are playing against the Son Heung-min, the Son Heung-min we used to know, if you are playing against wingers like Bukayo Saka on that left wing, Savinho there, if you are playing against Mohamed Kudus there, they would score goals easily on that side, especially when Virgil van Dijk is defending with Aura, like he was doing yesterday. I don't know how Liverpool. I'm still trying to get in my head why they allowed João Kwanzaa to go when they know they're not going to get a centre back. Konate is not going to be fit. Joe Gomez is currently injured. Konate is not going to be fit every game. We all know that.
Yes, Conor Bradley
is going
the
to
right back.
Conor Bradley is the right back.
Curtis Jones can also play as a right back.
Yeah.
If they are going to be planning to do this next season with everything they've spent, and I'm listening to Virgil van Dijk saying they need attackers, and I'm laughing. They need defenders. They need at the moment with the way they defended yesterday.
And you think it would be stupid to say they need defender when you know he's a defender?
then they would have.
He's the
a big problem
captain.
next season.
Can he be displaced?
You never can tell. You can't be too sure about that. I've seen captains to sit on the bench with Jose. So let's talk about Rodri. Yes, SAMIES. How big of a miss. And for hard to the Sevilla news that we got in the last few hours about him leaving Liverpool, not confirmed yet, but looking like if the money is good
Manchester
for
City.
City, he's leaving City. If the money is good for City,
Tottenham.
they will allow him go to London.
Well,
two players now also had Jack Grealish. There's so much happening, like
James
I said.
McCarthy as well.
So there's so
That's
much
joined
from City.
Nottingham Forest.
Like City are going to release a few players in the next 48, 72 hours. Go.
and that's because they want to actually free up a spot for Rodrigo. So you look at all of these things, but
you hear Rodrigo. I had Xavi Simons.
well, they should
And
battle Chelsea with
they
that.
are also
I-
news of
what I-
Bacola as well.
What I heard is that they're going to hijack that stuff from
Chelsea?
what's his name now? From Chelsea, because they're slowing things down. So Rodrigo is about 100 million euros, and they might drag that for a long time. But for Xavi Simons, no, he wants to leave.
Well, I'll start from the news of Rodri that is going to be out until after the international break in September, and I'll look at it that maybe I would say that's not going to be a big miss for Manchester City because they have had over a year to work on that replacement for. Or over 9 months to work on the replacement for Rodri,
You
in
mean
which
replacement for Rodri?
a replacement for Rodri, yes, because he was out for the majority of last
How do you
season.
replace the player that is not going to, that is going to is leaving?
Rodri.
That's what I'm saying. It's Rodri I'm talking about, not Rodrigo. Rodri, I know.
Yeah, Rodri is
He's
out
Ballon d'Or
injured.
winner.
Yeah, he's out injured presently.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is last
Got a
season
replacement for him.
they got replacements for him.
They got
last
replacement for him.
season.
Who was the replacement?
Nico Gonzalez. This
Yes.
season they
For
went for
60 million.
Tijani Raiders just before the FIFA
I don't
Club
think they
World
play in
Cup.
the same position.
See, it is all about bolstering the midfield, right? And that is one thing Manchester City they've done. See, and I dare say that for Pep Guardiola, I know this is a big headache for him. He has tried players in that position, but nobody is giving him what Rodri is giving him. But the big question is, even at that, Rodri coming back into that Manchester City side, is he going to get back to that level in which we saw him in the last 3 seasons? Is he going to get back to that? The answer is indecisive, inconclusive. But we talk about some other transfer news. Jack Grealish, who definitely has found a new home just for 12 months. If he's going to renew, extend his stay, that's between the player who has the final say and all that. And also, that's one of the bad markets in which have gone down in the world of football. For Savio
He won
also,
the Champions League, he won the league. He won
bad
everything
market.
with
How
Manchester
influential
City.
was he in any of the runs Manchester City had? None. He wasn't influential. They did decide the course of 5, 6, 7
So you
games for
think that was
Manchester
this,
City.
you think him dropping down to play for Everton is a bad one?
I'm not saying it's a bad one. This is a player who actually has everything before he joined Manchester City. He was the ball carrier. He was at the head of everything while at Aston Villa.
It was one of the reasons why Manchester City won the treble they won that year. He played every knockout stage games they played in the knockout stage of the Champions League that year. He played every knockout game. He is one of the reasons why City won the treble. I keep on saying it's fine. I understand that.
Treble?
He was not scoring goals.
And
Yes,
then you displace the impact
he was not
of
scoring
hold on.
goals.
Just because he didn't score goals.
He was not
Is his
scoring
job
goals,
to
but he
score
was
the goals?
playing well. He was one of the reasons because when I'm trying to remember that season when they defeated Inter Milan in the final. He played in every knockout stage games. Guardiola won't play you if you're not playing good. If you're not playing as that good, I understand that he scored just 12 goals. That's too low for someone who came in for 100 million euros. But this guy it's just because the expectations were too high. When he was at Aston Villa, he wasn't scoring that much.
I like
He was not a
Grealish.
scorer like
I
that.
never been a goal scorer.
I like Grealish enough. That's why I've been making this call for him to actually leave Manchester City, because the number one thing that hampered his game at City was that he was played mostly out of position by Pep Guardiola.
Guardiola saw him as the new Kelvin De Bruyne, and he's
He
not
played
that.
him out of position. But we talk about another transfer which is tending to be a bad one for Manchester City. Savio. If at all he leaves Manchester City this summer.
No. When you say bad, he didn't get the chance that Jack Grealish got. He came for a lesser fee, 20 million from a parent's
Girona.
High expectation. We saw him in Girona 2 seasons ago.
For the past few
you-
seasons, Guardiola have been signing wingers, and all of them have flopped. Jeremy Doku flopped, Jack Grealish flopped, Savio flopped as well, and I'm looking at it. I'm thinking it is Guardiola's system, because all of these guys are coming in. They are coming from a team where they are playing very well, and they get into the team. They start playing what we don't know. Riyad Mahrez at City was very good.
He was back
well
with Manchester City over the weekend. He was training with them.
Their training ground. But since Riyad Mahrez have left, every winger that have came into this Manchester City team have flopped. We have to be honest. No winger have worked with this team. And
but let's not forget that they also have players now. 𝐶𝐈𝐒𝐒𝐿, who else?
Every dribbler that have came into this team under Guardiola have worked.
But Bernardo Silva worked.
Bernardo Silva because his utility, he's been playing in the midfield.
Bernardo Silva is more of a system player.
Yes.
You look at him, he's a system player. And I think Manchester City's system just suits him.
Yes, because the other wingers just come in, they are played out of position and they don't work.
And it also takes a football brain, to play under a Pep Guardiola system. I would actually say that.
If you don't have sense, you can't play under Pep Guardiola.
For real.
Maybe.
So if you are dull, you can't play under Pep
For
Guardiola.
real. These are tactical managers.
It's enough. Sense, people that have sense. We have to go, and another man will have got sense. Can you come help us with the news? Okay, Danica is the one coming in for the news. Not so. Sadiq, you can see you guys again on Tuesday morning. That will be Scoreboard in 15. I am Peter Omo.